Climate change is when the Earth's climate, the avior language is set to AMR-age weather conditions over a long period of time, starts to change. In other words, climate change is the expression used to refer to the changes in the Earth's climates at local, regional, or global scales. Climate change happens because of a few main reasons. Greenhouse gases. Certain gases in the air, like carbon dioxide, CO2, trap heat from the sun. When we burn fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas for energy, we release more of these gases into the air. Deforestation. When we cut down trees and forests, fewer plants absorb CO2 from the air. This adds to the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Pollution. Other types of pollution can also affect the climate, like gas from cars and factories, which contributes to the greenhouse effect. All of them can be traced down to humans. Since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change. Greenhouse gases that we are emitting are warming the world faster than at any time in at least the last 2,000 years. There are no trees to reduce this extreme abundance of gases, and as a consequence, the average temperature of the Earth's surface is now about 1.2 degrees Celsius warmer than it was in the late 1800s, before the Industrial Revolution. We want to show these tremendous and devastating effects that are now happening in order to raise awareness before it is too late. Things such as droughts, floods, and more are happening worldwide. They once were warnings, and now they are our reality. Many people think climate change mainly means warmer temperatures. But temperature rise is only the beginning of the story, because the Earth is a system where everything is connected. Changes in one area can influence changes in all others. This is worrying, and that is why we've interviewed a series of people from around the globe. Let's go to it.
So the first question is, how has the overall climate changed throughout the time you've lived in your community?
Completed my matriculation from HSS College and have been working as a climate activist since past 2 years, even organizing my own initiative and participating in different virtual summits.
Alright, that's great. So let's start off. What impact has climate change created on your city preferences?
Well, to be very honest, I find that climate change has actually been very crucial since past years. It has just changed how the temperature used to be and the humidity. Even, I'd like to share one thing that beforehand there was more ratio of the birds in my city, like the sparrows and more. But now, even if we go over a sort of trekking in just the forest or because you'll find very less ratio of birds in the city, and that's just because of temperature. Even our city, which is known for the wide production of mangoes, now cannot actually produce that sufficient amount of mangoes in that particular quality just because of the scarcity of water, and that's because of the high temperature in the earth.
My community has changed drastically also in the past 5 years than throughout my entire lifetime. And as we know, global warming has already begun to take effect. Summers used not to be as hot and winters was truly cold. However, in the last 5 years, have witnessed significant change. The recent events in Nokat and Osh, where we have seen tiger floods, are deeply concerning. Previously, I have never experienced such extreme weather phenomena, yet all these changes in the climate have been very troubling for me. The stark contrast between the weather patterns of my childhood and the present day is alarming. It's clear that the overall climate in our community has shifted dramatically in a relatively short period of time.
What measures have you taken to protect the environment?
Honestly, I do not do the things that will protect environment, and I'm not really interested in it. But my dad said that we need to have 2 habits, and it will be really helpful to our planet and us. The first habit is we need to throw trash out where it should be thrown. Like there are several places where we can throw the trash, or you can throw it to the trash can, but not everywhere you want. The second habit is we need to separate trash, really. Like, all the negative consequences that it will bring. And if every single person in this world will do these two habits will be learned by everyone, we won't have the biggest problem of this century, like about the trash, garbage.
At least take your own oxygen. grown in packs. So we go there, we grow numerous plants there, and there are a wide variety of plants nowadays. We have been working since 2 years, and we can see lots of variety and wide range of plants.
How do you think temperature has changed compared to your childhood?
Okay, I would like to elaborate by giving an example. And when I was a kid, and I still remember, and it was June, July, and we used to have some pretty, monsoon weather. But as I am a teenager now, and what I feel since my journey from a from a 5-year kid to the 17-year teenager, what I feel that we are facing so much heat stroke nowadays. And as I previously mentioned that we used to have some climate, monsoon weather, but now here the July is going to end in 15 days, but we don't have a single proper rain here in Kyrgyzstan. So this is the foremost thing that I actually face this climate change.
The temperature has changed a lot in comparison to my childhood. Today it's warmer than before, and you can literally feel how the sun burns, especially around 12. Also, we've gotten more natural fires, which were not really common before, and the ice levels from wide-tip mountains have decreased. Now you can barely see snow from faraway distances. And also the rain is less frequent, especially during April.
So, now you know a little bit more about climate change, and you have heard a series of testimonies from around the globe. It is time to start viewing what we can do to help. The first and most approachable way to help the environment is to separate your compost. It is important as all the organic waste you don't want or need can be recycled back into the soil and used to feed crops of every kind and size. Furthermore, more and more people ought to recycle every day. This helps to reduce the need for landfill and more costly forms of disposal. Recycling also reduces the need for extracting, mining, quarrying and logging, refining and processing raw materials, all of which create substantial air and water pollution. This compost can also be used by farmers and growers as a soil conditioner and can feed the spuds you cook for your dinner or the flowers in the vase on your windowsill. So making and separating compost is our one big tip. That is all for today. Thank you very much and see you soon.